America had actually tricked many of them into a hands-off policy by giving them the impression that
leadership,
she was
and it's
honestly
the
trying
summit,
to do something
and to have
to
you
solve the
here
problem.
is truly my privilege.
Muhammad is on time. He's teaching us it's not the color of the physical body that makes a man a devil. God don't look at our colors. Minds, hearts have no color. God look at our minds and our actions and our deeds.
Any Muslim who makes the pilgrimage to Mecca during the official Hajj, one thing that I found in all of my travels was that all of the Africans, not only the Africans but the Asians and the Muslims, look upon us as their long-lost brothers. And America had actually tricked many of them into a hands-off policy by giving them the impression that
leadership,
she was
and it's
honestly
the
trying
summit,
to do something
and to have you
solve the
here
problem.
is truly my privilege.
I decided to stay. She lasted 8 days.
And I thought it was a great opportunity to apply for it.
My argument over there was designed to prove that it is impossible for the United States government to solve the race problem. It's impossible. For the United States government to solve the race problem. It's impossible.
Nuzzled by Donald J. Trump.
But if your truth represents white supremacy, if your truth represents colonialization, if your truth represents the death of my people.
1 month before he was killed, what do you think is responsible for race prejudice in the U.S.? And Malcolm said, ignorance and greed, and a skillfully designed program of miseducation that goes right along with the American system of exploitation and oppression. So it takes education to eliminate it. And just because you have colleges and universities does not mean you have education. The colleges and universities in the American educational system are skillfully used to miseducate.
Throughout my travels in the Muslim world, I have met, talked to, and even eaten with people who in America would have been considered white, but the white attitude was removed from their minds by the religion of Islam.
And it's helped me to respect all people more, all human beings, and that God's message is universal and that it should go to everybody.
I met one Sudanese sister, spoke in broken sentences and a lot of hand language. But I came to find out that she had 3 children, and 2 of them have died. And we shared in that. And we sat and we cried together, even though we couldn't really communicate that well. Our hearts were together. And then after that, we shared in the worship of our Creator together. And we have a common prayer and a common language in that worship. And I just think that, you know, subhanAllah, like Allah is so wise. God is so wise.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught was good for the time. Muhammad is on time. He's teaching us it's not the color of the physical body that makes a man a devil. God don't look at our colors. Minds, hearts have no color. God look at our minds and our actions and our deeds. So we have white Muslims, brown Muslims, red Muslims, yellow Muslims, all colors. So it's the color. So the big thing in the change now, we have white people who have accepted our faith, and we now recognize all men as brothers, and we look at them according to their works. Some blacks can do evil and white. So it's not the color, now we look at the actions.
Displaying a spirit of unity and brotherhood that my experiences in America had led me to believe never could exist between the white and non-white. America needs to understand Islam, because this is the one religion that erases from its society the race problem.
Initial attractions to Islam were for instance, the sense of the brotherhood of humanity. You know, of course, in the United States, we have a long tradition of kind of racial separation and segregation for a number of reasons. But I find that that when I met Muslims and later when I traveled to the Muslim world, this absolute disregard for the outward features of human beings, whether it be their color or whatnot, and that mankind was actually united together under a single religion. And now when I read the Quran, it's not the same eyes that I read 25 years ago. It's this endless sea of meaning, this answer for everything. And this really amazes me and keeps my.
Never have I witnessed such sincere hospitality and overwhelming spirit of true brotherhood as is practiced by people of all colors and races here in this ancient holy land, the home of Abraham, Muhammad, and all the other prophets of the Holy Scriptures. For the past week, I've been utterly speechless and spellbound by the graciousness I see displayed all around me by people of all colors. I've been blessed to visit the holy city of Mecca. I've made my 7 circuits around the Kaaba, led by a young mutawaf named Muhammad. I drank water from the well of the Zamzam. I ran 7 times back and forth between the hills of Mount Al-Safa and Al-Marwa. I've prayed in the ancient city of Mina, and I've prayed on Mount Arafat. There were tens of thousands of pilgrims from all over the world. They were of all colors, from blue-eyed blondes to black-skinned Africans. But we were all participating in the same ritual, displaying a spirit of unity and brotherhood that my experiences in America had led me to believe never could exist between the white and non-white. America needs to understand Islam, because this is the one religion that erases from its society the race problem.
Something that is for all human beings. Who are human beings? Banu Adam. This is the Quranic description of humanity. What does it mean? Children of Adam. You can't get rid of your family. You may not like them. You may sometimes be annoyed with them, but whatever, they're still our family.
I think during this day and age, the biggest misconception of Al-Islam is that Al-Islam is a very aggressive. Once you take the time to really look at Al-Islam for what Al-Islam is. Like they told us when we were coming up, never judge a book by its cover. And so if you get past the cover and you really start to investigate and you read and you study this religion or this way of life, you will find out that it is probably the most simple and beautiful way of life that you can ever imagine.
The worship of our Creator together, and we have a common prayer and a common language in that worship. And I just think that, subhanAllah, like Allah is so wise. God is so wise.
You now have direct connect, and you're not going to have to worry about running out of minutes or the battery going dead. Because Allah is always ready to take your dua, your petition to Him, your prayers to Him. All you have to do is ask Him in your heart.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Kunu shuhada ala nas. Be witnesses unto mankind. Be witnesses unto mankind. Be kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrija linnas. You are the best community brought forth. We have to embody those meanings.
It's just like any of the other tests of sincerity in religion. Prayer, fasting, paying charity, making pilgrimage. All of these things show some patience and endure this test because truly anything that you leave for the pleasure of Allah.
I love Islam. Islam is absolutely my life. There's nothing in the world as important to me as Islam. And there is nothing in the world that I am not willing to give up for the sake of Allah, for Islam, and for the Muslims. That's a fact. It's an unquestionable fact. Because Islam is everything to me, because I know the power of Islam. I know the power of Allah. I understand Allah's love. I understand His wisdom. I understand His mercy. I understand His justice. And I know there is nothing that is better. And I wish to share this with everyone.
It's a way of thinking, Islam. If a Muslim is only a person who believes that nothing in the universe should be worshipped except God.
The facts that your friends overlook, so always be proud. You can never be wrong if we read the Quran, cause it's never been changed since day one. Others may brag, say that we lag, but they don't know all the power we have.
If they would please pray for me. I want to be a good Muslim. I want to be a good example of Islam.
Guys and women
I want
that
to know
I see
more.
do this,
I want to know
they
more.
still
I want to know
sacrifice
more
their whole
about
life to get the true
Hadith.
message of
I
Islam.
want to know more about Quran. I have a hunger for learning.
There's nothing to fear of Muslims. We are all Americans together.
George Bernard Shaw, for instance, is one of many, a long list of people who read this and realized the truth of Islam. When people see the truth of Islam, it can change them if they want to be guided. If they want the truth, it can change them. Of one of the first Qurans ever translated to English by George Sale. George Sale hated Islam, he hated the Muslims, but when he translated the Quran to English, he was true to the text of the words. Although maybe not getting all the meaning, he certainly was true to the text of the words. I was shocked when I read it. Have you seen it? You know what I'm talking about? Amazing. The greatest commandment is to know, O Israel, the Lord your God is one God. And you have to love Him with all your heart and all your mind and all your strength. His people. Same thing I mentioned in the lecture. This is certainly for us the same. So what you see is Muslims practicing the commandments, and you see people claiming the commandments but practicing something else. And I have seen more converts from the Catholic Church than any other of the many sects of Christianity, and especially from the nuns, priests, and even an archbishop. And all of them are better than me. Those guys and women that I see do this, they still sacrifice their whole life to get the true message of Islam, not only to you, but to Muslims as well, because we all...
things I loved and still love about Islam is that the relationship with God is direct. It's me and my Creator.
Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, the most forgiving, all-powerful, unimaginable Creator, unlike anything created.
I find that that when I met Muslims and later when I traveled to the Muslim world, this absolute disregard for the outward features of human beings, whether it be their color or whatnot, and that mankind was actually united together under a single religion.